Been thinking lately of the method and the wisdom path. When I first got here, I was really trying to get in touch with compassion, quite often during purification or, the Tara practice in the morning. I was having, emotions come up, and I think that helped me later on. I've been reading Jeffrey Hopkins' Emptiness Yoga for the past, 3 months. I've gotten pages 37 to 90. I've been reading them over and over and over again. And I've been thinking about, the other day, Venerable, when she did her teaching on Zoom, I think it was Zoom, but someone asked a question at the end of the question and answer period. How should we deal with childhood abuse and the anger that comes from that, physical or verbal? And Venerable said, well, think about how they're under afflictions themselves, and think of it that way. And at that moment, I thought also, like, if I could, in the a gross way of kind of more of an emptiness thinking, that person that those actions that happened to me back then, I'm not that person that I was back then. And if I could really actualize that and really believe that, then I don't have to be attached to that stuff that happened back then, because I'm a different person now. It's kind of harder in a way, because I really have to work with my, the I want, I was hurt, and, I this, I that, And then I thought, if I could do that, if I could do that more throughout the day, if, someone did something or said something that I took offense to, and I was irritated or angry, how if I could catch that, and then if I could, from one moment to the next, think of, I'm not the person I was a few seconds ago. So why is that sticking to me? In Jeffrey's book, he talks about two kinds of innate minds: an innate consciousness conceiving inherent existence, and the usual innate mind apprehending this or that without considering inherent existence. The latter is known as a valid cognition of conventional phenomena, or innate valid cognition, and can be any of the six consciousnesses: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mental consciousness. Here, the usual or innate mind is a conceptual consciousness that imputes the various phenomena. So I was thinking, applying this to me, about how, if I see or hear someone, and depending on, the past conceptualization that I've had towards that person, whether it be neutral or pleasant, or how that really influences. So at first I have a valid cognition, so I see or hear something, but then the I comes up. Oh, I like this person. I don't like that person. They did this to me recently. On and on. So I thought, if I can track that, I'll be much more happier. And Jeffrey Hopkins, he quotes Arya Deva's 400, without imputation by conceptuality, like the imputation of a snake to a rope, there is no finding in the existence of desire, and so forth. If so, who with intelligence would maintain that a real object is produced, dependent on conceptuality? For being imputed by conceptuality and existing as its own reality are contradictory. So that's kind of what, I form these concepts, all day long, moment by moment, on how people are looking at me, or if they're irritated, if I impute that they're irritated when I'm talking to them. And then I was thinking, in living in community, and this is more of the compassionate side of that, about how, patience is so important, you know, whatever I'm doing, if someone asks me a question, if I have patience and just listen to them, and, you know, if I can answer as best as I can, that's kind of a kindness, instead of like being grumpy and I'm too busy, I don't have time for this right now, you know. Just, it's always worth taking a couple seconds to try and be kind to someone. So that's all I got. Enjoy your practice.